So I don't interview like a normal person anyway.
Well, that's good because we're not normal.
So what I'm going to put out, I do a blog,
Okay.
and I also write for a magazine called The Jam Witch.
Okay.
So basically I can take whatever of this
Yeah.
and create however many pieces that we need to promote whatever it is that you want.
Okay.
So if you want to go with the album and the process and how you guys, you know, got connected in the first place, tell it to me like a story.
Okay.
And then we'll take apart what we need to.
Okay, cool. So are you going to ask us questions, or you just want us to jibber jab?
Just jibber jab.
Okay.
That's what I like.
So I know how I first met you. I'm pretty sure that I got introduced to you by a gentleman named Paul Palazzo.
Yeah.
And I think Paul had heard you play, and then I guess he asked me if I wanted to come and play with you at an after show, I think after Railroad Earth played in Manhattan. And back when when that theater in Times Square might have been called the Nokia.
Yeah, well, it's changed names so many times.
Yeah.
Or was it Best Buy? Or I think it's called the PlayStation Theater now, but it keeps, I don't know.
Whoever has money.
Yeah.
They keep changing names or sponsorship or something, right?
Yeah, and we tried to get together, and I remember like at first we were going to do something, and then it was just, I think that maybe something happened with your, the people, I think the lineup of your band kind of changed,
Yeah.
and something wasn't quite, I think maybe your keyboard player had
Yeah, or keyboard issues.
yeah.
I've been cursed with the keyboard player.
Did he, what happened to him? Did he pass away or something? Or
He
can't
just, yeah, he recently passed away. He was struggling with drug issues
right, so that's
for a
kind
long
of
time, yeah.
sort of a common
Yeah.
theme, you know. And then we got together, you called me to try and let's get together and do an EP.
Yeah, I was just like, and right before the EP is when he passed away. He was having drug issues then. He went away to rehab and he passed away, but I got Joe Bigwam to come and fill the slot, which was great because he's amazing.
Oh, he did fantastic.
Yeah, great work on the album, and
Yeah.
and it was just, I gave him a call because I was like, it's time. We got to get something down, you know, like I can't, you know, you go so far playing shows and word of mouth. You got to have,
you have to have something, even if it's just a few songs. And how many songs do we have? I can't remember how many.
We did 3.
We did 3 songs, and so.
Did you know from initially you were going to do 3 songs, or did you just kind of break it down to 3?
It changed. We were going to do 3 different songs than really kind of what I picked. What ended up going there because of the lineup change, but it really worked out, I feel like, better than what I had anticipated. Because
totally.
it got good feel, and I don't know, I think the record sounds great.
It does. It's very strong. So you came in with these 3 picked out, or did you kind of start the process?
I picked them out 2 weeks before.
Okay.
Yeah. You gave me, I think, you might have sent me 5 when you came down. I think we weeded it down to those 3 that you agreed upon. And then we just came in and I did pre-production in my head, kind of. I wrote you notes as to what I thought we could do with the songs, and then we kind of just executed that song by song, as I remember.
Is that your normal process?
My process it changes depending on the artist. I like to do pre-production rehearsal if I can, but sometimes that's not possible because it stretches out the schedule, and it can cost. I don't charge for pre-production, so when an artist comes. If I'm producing a record here in Pennsylvania, or there's an artist coming to this space, because we recorded it here. This is my space where I do pre-production and post-production, and then all down the hallway is where we recorded the record at Mixolydian. And so if people are coming here, typically what I will do is just have them come in this space. They have a drum set and a bass rig and guitar rig and everything. It's a little closed. It's a piano. So it's a little small, but it's
intimate.
It's small enough. It's big enough for everyone to be in the same room, and so typically I'll have a band come in and we'll do a day, like 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours of pre-production in this space, and then the next day we'll get sounds and set up. But this time what we just used that time to get set up and get sounds, and then we did song by song, the pre-production. We kind of did a song a day in a way.
Yeah, really, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
I think we had an extra day to do vocal overdubs and other overdubs. Right? It was kind of 4. Was it 4 or 5 days total? I think
It was like 4. It was like
4
3
and
and a
change.
half or something
Yeah, it was
weird
like
like
3
that.
and change. Yeah. And yeah, so that works good too. I just started a record with a band out in Colorado called the Drunken Hearts, and the singer-songwriter that writes for that band, he essentially said, look, I just have these sketches of songs, it's just me with acoustic guitar, and what I'm really interested in doing is seeing like what you think and where you could go with these sketches of songs. And so I went out and I wrote my pre-production notes. I wrote like 2. Normally I'll do a run of pre-production notes, and 9 times out of 10 that's kind of what I'm sticking to. Then I'll do another pass if I want to add to those notes or take away. Usually winds up being what the first pass of notes were, and with a little extrapolation. And so I did that, sent them to the band, and of course the only person that looked at the notes was the singer-songwriter. And like 2 days before, I'm getting emails from the band that goes like, so what are we doing? We don't know what we're doing.
Oh, no.
Well, how about try reading your email and then you'll know. But so then we just got in and like literally took a song a day. We did 3 days, and we just arranged the songs on the spots with like, and I wrote a bridge for one of the songs because like this needs a bridge. It's just not going anywhere. It needs to go somewhere for a second to take the listener on a journey. So. And it was cool. It was a really interesting and fun process. So that's another way to do it.
That's cool. What was your process with working with?
Kind of similar a little bit, except the songs were a lot more developed.
Yeah.
The songs were I'm not going to say they're completely, I mean, there were ideas that I came up with, arrangement ideas and instrument ideas and like what could we do, like the one tune that has the arpeggiated synth in.
Yeah.
That was something like, that's when I heard that like from the beginning. And amazingly, he came in with the Moog and was like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." It was like, "That's it. That's what we were looking for." So he had a lot. He's a super sweet guy to play with too. Everybody in your band is super nice to hang with. It's a good hang. That's important.
That is important.
And it's not always a good hang because you're dealing with musicians and they can be assholes.
A little bit of ego.
Yeah,
Well, it's just, I think that's people in general. Musicians.
No. Musicians are a special breed.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are fuck you. You don't know what you're saying. This is the way it's gonna go. And I like doing sound production. You say, "Hey man, you're too loud." No, I'm not. Okay, because
I deal with that all the time because being a producer is part of that is being a psychologist, and you have to kind of make your job first. The job is to be a slave to the song, make sure the song comes out good, and then the next job, which is just behind it, is to create a kind of atmosphere that's conducive to creation, and there are things that work against that, and a lot of times it's personalities that could be that kind of butt up against others, even within the band, and there's I've had the situation a number of times, like recently actually I was doing a single with this band. I won't name names, but and then they one of the guys in the band was a little bit kind of like pushy about like what he was hearing, and like even like silly, like kind of like minutia stuff, like the hi-hat I think the hi-hat should be closed and not open, and it shouldn't be in the beginning of the song, and it shouldn't I'm like, and then I was kind of like, so do you really want to die on Hi-Hat Hill? Is that what we're talking about here? I don't know, man. That kind of stuff. And then, of course, then I find out down the line, I was like, well, yeah, we were sitting at a bar after the second day of sessions, and he's like, yeah, man, like the first 2 records that we did, we did in my little studio, so I was kind of a producer on that. Oh, so you're a producer. I get it. But that happens, that just happens. And
of
it's
course.
you just deal with it, and you try and make a smooth path, and the goal is to make a great record. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit about you. I just give a shit about the song.
That was the whole point of it when I did it. I didn't want to have any control of that. I just said, Tim, you do what you do, and we're here to serve the song.
Yeah.
And if he's hearing something really good, then we're going to do it. I put it like, you got us to go. It's like a race car. You know, you want a race car to go 200 miles an hour at 2,000 RPMs, not at 10,000 RPMs. And he got us to do that, or he got me, at least I felt like that, to do that. It was effortless, and we were doing,
Yeah,
and it was quick.
It's exactly how I like to work too. I like to get the thing going as quickly as possible and I work really fast. I'm that guy that can make, that is known to make Sgt. Pepper's in 10 days or less and under budget. So, yeah, and, you know, the thing is that as long as it works the best when everyone is on that same page. And for the most part, I'm lucky, because I seem to almost always, like 80% of the time, I'm working with artists that have that same goal. And you guys, Wig Party was all about that. I seem to remember also, I mean, because it's not always my way or the highway, you know, but I do have a little saying I use, which is like if somebody really argues the point, I was like, well, okay, I thought you wanted a hit record, but apparently I was mistaken. You heard me say that. And, but, you know, there was like, for instance, there was one where you wanted to do the vocal over, and I was like, well, I don't know. It's kind of like there was a moment there, but okay, go ahead. And sure enough, like, you definitely crushed it when you redid the vocal, and so.
Yeah, and there was like one take.
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh, okay, good, that's perfect.
Okay, that's it. You're
Yeah.
done. You know, so.
Yeah.
Is there any of the three that you found you had a hurdle with, or were you
The
pretty
one
much
that we're
set to
talking
go?
Pawn, yeah.
That was Pawn.
because it was I hadn't sung that tune before that, because the other keyboard player was a singer too, so I had never really even sang that tune. I sang through it once in a demo I sent to him.
Yep. Which I liked.
Yeah. And then I just kind of came in here, and when you record, you could get in your own head, and that's almost the worst thing to do. And I kind of got in my head on that one, and it just, the first time I did it, I just was not happy with it. And it sounded okay, and it would have worked.
We did 3 or 4 takes, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like the first time. You know, we just went through it. But we wound up doing the when you came back, we came back to mix.
Yeah.
And I believe it was your brother who said, man, I think you could do that vocal better, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I forget what the language was. And so, and you were like, yeah, I think I could too. And I was like, all right, set up a mic, let's see if we can do it. We rolled you down, and you did it in 1 take. So, I mean, you probably had already thought about what you would probably have done different.
Yeah.
But you had a little time with the rough, which, you know, worked. And that's why, you know, doing pre-production, actually that's kind of really cool to wait the amount of time we waited, because to mix, because I think we waited like a week to mix or something.
Yeah, you got to.
So, and then you had time to digest what was done, and you could figure, you know, and I think mostly everything was, we added a few little things here and there, but I think mostly what we tracked was what we got, and which was, I thought, brilliant, you know.
Yeah, Timmy did, he has his little percussion thing, which is cool, because you didn't play any fiddle on the album.
Well, that was my next question. I didn't know what your contribution was outside of the producing.
Percussion.
And you did a voice too.
I did do a voice.
Yeah.
But, you know, I tried to, recently in my recent past, the last year or two, I've been trying to discourage the artists I work with from relying on me coming in and playing fiddle. Because I can do that, you know, until cows come home twice on Sunday.
Right.
But, you know, you kind of don't want, I certainly don't want to be known as that guy that plays fiddle on everybody's records. And by the way, he produces the record too. You know, I want to be the guy. I'm proud of the work I do as a producer, and I'm a student of production. Not that I go to school, but I go to school by listening and deconstructing the records I listen to, and go like, how did they do that? How could I do that, and maybe even do it better? So.
And then Andy came in on the second tune, which is going to be on the album Rubber Bullet.
Rubber
He
Bullet.
played sax, he played baritone and tenor.
Yeah, we put a little horn section on there, and I was going for what are the sound that the Beatles used this a brass section called Sound and Company, I think they were called, on like for instance the song Good Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Bum, 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 bum. Good morning. Good morning. I was like, yeah, we need a horn sound like that. So we recorded Andy several times and compressed the living bejesus out of him. And that's kind of what you get. That's the sound you got on the record. It sounds awesome.
That
That's
does
cool.
sound awesome. That's a good track. All 3 of them are strong. They're really, really good.
you don't want to put out something that's weak, right?
No,
That's not the goal.
not that people don't do that.
Really missed the mark. Let's put that one out.
Let's make it shitty. Can we turn the shitty button up?
Yeah. So, yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm going to ask you a question. Like, so where do we go from here? I'm assuming you're going to release this as a little bit of a 3-song teaser sort of EP thing. Are you going to just put it out on CD, or are you just going to do a download only? Or are you thinking about
well, I think
anything? Or?
download card first because it's really easily accessible. That's like the new thing now is those cards.
Yeah.
And then I think
It's new. It's like 10 years old. But
well,
that's new.
newer
Yeah.
compared to a CD or
Cassette.
and then eventually probably do a little 7-inch with it because that's really kind of hip now.
Well, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, and then
And then we make a real record.
Yeah, and then
a full-length album.
and then we come back in and we'll do.
And hopefully he'll like hire me again to be the producer.
Of course,
Because if
yeah.
he didn't, he'd be a fucking asshole. Let's face it. So,
No, we're definitely going to do a second
you
one.
can do whatever you want, as long as
No,
it's
I want
good.
I want you to do the second one because I feel like it was just a taste.
Yeah.
Like let's do the whole thing.
Yeah.
now. Let's run the whole race now because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we could.
Oh, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
But let's let this one go out like a little soldier in your army. Send him out to fight the good battle, and see if he wins a couple of wars, and then we'll come back and start a whole new skirmish.
Yeah, and I think it would be cool, like, to do, because, me sending you stuff and you just giving little ideas, we could really, like,
Build something great.
maybe have, like, nothing. Come with, like, almost nothing, like, and we're just gonna, like...
I'm totally. I've just got a really good taste of doing that, and that's an exciting prospect for
Couple
doing that kind of
songs.
Build
stuff,
it from
yeah.
the foundation.
Yeah, a couple songs where we just, I got a lick.
Yeah.
Or, and then let's just go from there, and, because anytime I've recorded, I've always gone in there with verse, chorus, bridge, whatever. Here's all the parts. Okay, do this, do that. I've never like really just. Here's a lick. Let's come up with lyrics. Let's come up with.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And yeah, that's certainly a great way to do it, and we can do that with a couple of songs and do it the other way, and
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'd be stoked to do a full Wig Party record because I think you guys are great. I wanted to work with you as soon as I heard you. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, these songs. Because you know what, you're kind of in the jam band scene, but like I think I coined your style of music.
Yeah.
I call it slacker jam, and it's fucking awesome. There's nobody exactly like you or that.
That's true.
That's good. That's a good thing. I think.
Oh yeah,
It could. It could. For some people, it could be a bad thing, and others, it could be a really good thing because it's different. We do songs. Songs first. The jam is second.
Yeah.
Jam is the live thing, but the song is.
Yeah, we did a little bit of jam on this 3-song thing. There's
Yeah.
one song that kind of just builds and swirls and then comes back to the song, which
Yeah.
is freaking awesome. So, well, hell yeah, bitch.
What's your target date for release?
Yeah.
Approximate.
Yeah. Sometime.
2018.
Yeah.
Do you have a target like
Probably.
fall, summer?
Yeah. Maybe midsummer.
Okay.
I don't know. I gotta talk to.
Up for debate.
Well, when you promote a record, you got to talk to the person who's promoting it too. Because if someone's
Generally speaking, it's not necessarily the greatest idea. It's not like common procedure to release something in the middle of the summer because people are
busy,
they're like they're in the midst of their summer reverie or whatever that is, and they have a lot of other things on their mind. The fall might be a better time, but not when school comes back in. So you're talking like I would say like October, sometime before Thanksgiving, and if you wanted to do something, write a Christmas song to go with the 3 songs and then release it just before Christmas or something. I don't know. I think that was just a stupid idea. You could theoretically do that, but
yeah,
you could if you get too close to Christmas, you can get there's so much product out, you just can
get
get
lost.
swamped.
Yeah.
So I would probably think like late September, early October, because then people that are some of your core audience might be college kids, and you know, once they're going back to college, it's just all this hubbub to get, and they're not necessarily paying attention. I know this from doing live shows in like early September. It's like, I don't know, it's not the greatest time to be even playing live shows, because people are too self-absorbed to really realize what the hell's going on. But once you get settled in, then it's like, let's party!
Yeah. October, November.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like late October, like a Halloween-ish.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's summertime is just not. It's everybody's like.
Out and about and booked and playing.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I don't know that there's any real hard and fast rule. The general wisdom kind of says summer not necessarily the greatest time to put out a record. So.
are you gonna release like a track?
Yeah, well.
Maybe like kind of
well,
tease it a little bit.
You
We'll
should
do
do a
it.
video.
Yeah.
Or even do like a, you know, whatever, you figure it out, but, you know, do like a video and release a single with a video.
I have a great artist that I work with. He does all of our design for us. He's really good, and he's really good at animation, and I think
Oh,
it would be
dude.
cool to listen to it and have like some crazy animation going on. the
Boom.
whole time.
And then, yeah, intermix it with you guys playing, like, lip syncing. I like, for some reason, I like lip syncing. I don't know why. It's just like, I want to see a guy walking down the street with an electric guitar that's
Because
not
it's
plugged
fun.
in. You know, like, there's no way he's playing that.
Cool, cool, cool.
Well, I wish you luck with all of that, and for hell yeah, man, make sure that I'm in the loop for all of it.
I will.
All right.
Awesome. Do you have anything exciting coming up that you want to throw a promotion for?
You know, I'm working on this new record with the Drunken Hearts. I just finished a record with a band called the Coral Creek Band that's being just being mastered as we speak. My side project band, The Contribution, has just released our new record, Wilderness in Space, and we're imminently about, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to start a pledge music drive to try and recoup some of the money that we spent making the record, and also to put money aside to make our next record. We have it's kind of a diverse group of people. It's myself and this fellow Jeff Miller and Phil Ferlino from a band called New Monsoon, and a gospel singer from Denver. Her name is Cheryl Renee. She's fabulous. And so far the record has had the band, all of the band's records and live performances had Keith Mosley from the String Cheese Incident as our bass player, but their schedule has gotten to the point where like I may not be able to use him, and so we've had this conversation, and so now our live band is now Steve Adams from ALO on the bass, and
cool.
Ezra Lipp, who plays with Phil Lesh on the drums, and they worked out really great. They did our CD release, or album release parties in California a few weeks ago, and then they're just great. And so, you know, we're gonna write another record, and this record is, you know, has been released, but we're gonna be doing some more promotion for it, and we're gonna try to do the pledge music drive to try and, you know, absorb some of the costs. And we are on a record label. I have a label that I work with called Low High. I'm essentially their A&R director, Erzat's A&R director. And we just recently signed Fruition, which is an amazing band.
I love Fruition.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, we just put out their record, you know, maybe 2 months ago, and it's doing really well. It debuted at number 4 in the Billboard Heat Seekers, so that's what kind of really cool. And you know, we're building the buzz, and they're going to be going out with Jack Johnson. Actually, they're going out with Jack Johnson. I think they started this weekend, doing like 6 shows with him, and then they're doing that the Caravan tour with Willie Nelson and Lucas Nelson, and so they're going to be on some of those shows. So but there's good things happening for them, and there's good things happening for Low High, and yeah, that's it. I'm
Awesome.
always busy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. If you ever want to promote any of that, I'll give you my card.
Please do.
I'm happy to review, so
All right, awesome. And there it is.
that's all.